Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about, can you trust your prepper community? Now, last night, which was Sunday night, I was on a talk show with Trade Cat Knight. Some of you might not know who that is, but he's a talk show guy, a podcast guy that I frequent his podcast pretty much every month. Pinball talks to him as well, and Rogue Preparedness talks to him as well. So, whatever. We're on this radio show the other night, and we're talking about prepper communities and how to build one. The one key solution that I failed to mention in the videos when I talked about building a prepper community is trust. It comes down to trust, guys. Leadership plays a huge role. People have to trust that leader, but trust in every last individual in that prepper community is the key factor. Without trust, guys, you have no prepper community. Now, you have a lot of phonies that'll come by and be like, oh, I trust you, but they really do they? Can you trust them? Can you trust somebody that you only met just to be in your community, but you never spoke to before that? You never hung out with before that, right? So if you never hung out with this dude, how do you know what he or she is capable of or not capable of? Comes down to trust. Now, I'm going to use Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival as the example, and Old Mutt. I've hung out with both of these guys for a couple years now. And Alan, actually, Old Mutt, for years. And I got to know these guys through the shit we've done. Camping, prepping outing, bug out bag weekends. And I got to know these guys over the years. And these are guys I would absolutely trust, hands down. But because I got to know them. It wasn't like, hey man, you want to start a prepping community, and then you come and we meet and we kick it off on the first day, and I'm like, oh man, this dude seems good. Well, assholes, evil starts to show itself over time. It doesn't show itself immediately. It's not one of those things where you're like, you know, it's right out of the gates and you see it. No, it comes over time, especially when somebody's being deceiving, when they're lying to you, when they're telling you who you want them to be, but not who they really are. And who they really are, you only find out down the line. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you're interviewing for a prepper community, there are certain things that are going to be said that's going to be a red flag right away. But a really conniving, deceitful person, they're going to lie low for a long period. Hell, they might even be the good guy for years. And then when the shit's on, they might spring one on you. Or if the shit gets too hot and heavy, they might leave. They might bail out of the foxhole. You guys are like, yo, we're going to protect this land and shit's going to it's going to get real out there, but we're going to protect this land. And then dudes leave on you. They turn into cowards. We've all seen what fucking cowards look like over the last year. And even then, when we watch people turn into cowards, these were people we knew for years, over a decade. And when the shit got hot, motherfuckers bounced or bent the knee. So now, how do you trust a person? How do you have that person have your back? That is the key factor. You have to develop that trust. Now, unfortunately, you have to give a little trust when you're building this community, when you're talking to people you know. It's got to be a little bit of trust given, but you can't give them 100%. Now, again, with Hudson Valley, Mike and Old Mutt, Alan, those guys I trust through and through. Hell, speaking to somebody like Northern Girl Hobbies, who I've only spoken to over the phone, text message, and then the live streams we've done, I trust her. I've seen her commitment to certain things, and I've seen her commitment into getting shit done. And that I trust, right? There's few preppers in this prepper community that I trust. And some of them I just don't trust them because I don't know them like that. I might have interviewed you, but I don't know you to that extent. And there are others, yo, we're fucking in the foxhole, and that's what it is, right? But I only use Mike and Alan and Northern Girl because those are the people I've actually known the longest. Prepper Nurse One's another guy that I got to meet in person. He's another dude that you give your trust to. But you can't be too trusting of people. And I've noticed that with certain prepper channels. They're just too trusting of people, and people shit on them. How many times have people been shitted on in the prepper community throughout your life? Because you feel good. You meet people who are like you. Man, we prep. We're like brothers, right? And then you guys give each other hugs, and then the guy stabs you in the back. You have to be careful who you trust. But you can't be too paranoid either. right? You can't be paranoid to everyone as well. So it's a very, very delicate balance when it comes to building a prepper community and having people earn your trust and you giving that trust. Now, guys, when it comes to building that community, obviously you don't want liars, you don't want lazy people, you don't want people who want to be commanding all the time or want to have a leadership role right away. Leadership, by the way, guys, is earned, and it takes time to get leadership qualities. Nobody who is fucking a leader is a leader overnight. You can't, like those leadership schools, those stupid leadership schools you see out there where they're like, I went to a leadership school. Good for you, dick. That don't mean you're a fucking leader. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys who were in the military, you had those officers that came out of officer school and didn't know how to lead worth a damn, but yet your sergeant, right, or your gunny, those are the fucking guys you're gonna follow, tooth and nail, because those are the guys that you got to trust, but not the guy who came out of officer candidate school, or officer school, sorry, right? It's the same thing in the fire department. There were guys I had no problem fucking following down the hallway, but that new lieutenant who went to lieutenant school to be a leader of men, there were a lot of dudes who went to lieutenant school or captain school, whether that's PD, FD, EMS, and didn't know how to lead. Leadership is not something you can just learn. Yes, there's some good pointers that you can get out of leadership school, but it's got to be something in you. You got to know when to make that sacrifice. When you're a leader, you have to be on the same level as the men, period. There's no, you're standing on a soapbox and they're below you. No, you are with the men. That's how leaders operate. In the fire department, there were so many fucking captains and lieutenants who were fucking absolutely awesome fucking leaders. You had no fucking problem following these guys into a burning building. Zero. That's what leadership is. When you can look at a dude and go, I'll follow that motherfucker anywhere, without batting an eyelash, because you've seen that officer or that leader do it too. That's the difference. Leadership school and those stupid books, how to be a leader, those are fucking gay. Stop with those things. Leadership comes over time, and that's what you need. You need time to develop those skills, and it doesn't come in a book, and it doesn't come in a 2-week course. It comes over time. All right, guys, other than that, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.